Welcome to Shortstop on Pool. This is Rack of the Week 167. I want to say welcome to new YouTube members, Anton and Charlie. Thank you very much. Let's get right into this rack. I've been fooling around with this 100 shots in a row drill and just kind of trying to fine tune my fundamentals. And I've been doubting myself, which is a dumb thing to do. And I've been wanting to go back and compare to 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, et cetera. And I found in my notes, I had some notes about some racks that I thought might make a good rack of the week. And one of them was from 2 years ago. So this is July of 2022, almost 2 years ago. And I'm so glad I looked at it because I was very surprised. I'm very happy with my fundamentals in this video. And this is 2 years ago. So it's very important once you get things pretty much settled to not be a fiddler. And I'm worried that I've been a fiddler in the last 2, 3, 4 months. That's not good. You have to have confidence in what you're doing. And so that's great that I've found this video. So I've got that confidence back, I think. And this is a very good rack. I play this rack almost exactly the way I would play it today, with a couple of exceptions, and I think they're important exceptions. And that's why I say don't do this. So let's take a look at this rack and see what we can learn. This is a pretty standard break shot to start. And I'm in the middle of a run. I'm not sure how far along I am. So I go take a look at the angle, going to come over and play the break shot. And if you care about the fundamentals aspect of things, you can watch my elbow here during this break shot. And it stays up pretty good. Not the best, but pretty good. Look at that. That ain't bad. Looks like Shane Van Boening shot that. Now, you notice that was a straight high ball on that break shot. Cue ball went straight to the bottom rail and came back up. And I'm not sure, but I don't think I had much right English on it. Now, I'm walking down to the other end of the table and taking a look at what to shoot. Let's see if we can do a little bit of rack analysis here. What I'm seeing is this. Obviously, I broke from the left side, so the open balls are on the right side. I didn't overpower this break shot. So I hit it with a good speed. In other words, these balls didn't rebound from the rail and tie up. So that's a good result from that point of view. I don't have any open shots on this side of the table. So obviously, I've got a shot on the 1 or the 15. The worst shot would be to cut the 15 and try and run into these balls and break them up. I think you can get tied up that way, and lots of bad things can happen along with good things. So we want to run this in a little bit more controlled fashion. So I'm looking for a way to gently improve the lie of these balls a little bit with insurance or with at least shooting a shot that's not taking a high risk. I don't have a great break ball. So obviously some balls are going to be nudged into a break ball position. So in looking at this rack, what do you see? The first thing I see is this. Either of these balls can be shot into this corner, and with a low angle on the cue ball, you're going up into these balls, so you can open them up. But there's no good way to get the cue ball over here. I'm looking at how can I get at one of these balls, and that's very typical at the beginning of a straight pool rack, is you're shooting a ball that's close to the rail with a low angle and going up into the rack. And so it takes me not very long, and I finally see it. Hopefully you see it as well. And that's simply to follow forward to the rail here. And now I have a low angle on the 8 ball to do just what I've mentioned. So with these first 2 shots, if things go well with this 8 ball, I might be looking at an end pattern after this on this next shot. Maybe not, but this could really cure lots of things. So you want to look, obviously I don't want to hit the 12. The cue ball is going to go this way. I'm not going to be able to contact these balls, but I just want to go into these balls, maybe split these 2 balls softly. And that's pretty ideal. Notice I had a kind of a sharp angle on that 8 ball. And even though I did, not a single ball came past the side pockets. All my work is still down table, and I've already decided what I want to shoot. What I notice after that shot is that these 2 balls are a little bit tied up. So you're going to have an urge to want to run into those. But let's not do that. These balls are wide open enough that I can run the entire rack without bumping any more balls. Hopefully that's what I do. But once the 6 ball's gone, the 6 ball's a blocker. Once I get rid of the 6 ball, then both of these balls go in this pocket. So that's my focus. That's what I'm looking at, is getting on the 6 ball. I also want to get rid of this ball. And why is that? Because it's a blocker for the break ball. So it's not going to do me a lot of good in my end pattern unless if I can run all these balls and leave the cue ball right here, then only then does this ball become an acceptable key ball. But if this is my break ball, then this is an ideal key ball. So we're looking at preserving maybe the one ball or one of these balls as a K2 to set us up for this ball as the key ball, for this is the break ball. So that doesn't change what I talked about. These are the balls that need to be removed, and then then we can come up with an end pattern for the rest of the rack. It looks to me like what I'm trying to do is shoot this stripe and just come up for the 6, or for that ball, probably for the blocker ball, the ball that's blocking the break shot, and I came too far. So now what am I going to do? So I didn't get position there. So let's figure out a way to get position on this ball. And I'm not sure if I had it in me. Yeah, I probably do have it in mind because I'm going right to the shot. This is what I call a 3-shot sequence. So this is what I picked out is I'm trying to get position through this window on this ball, but I didn't get it, but that's fine. And I think it takes me just a second to see this. It's kind of a 3-shot sequence. Stop shot on the 2 ball, stop shot on the 7. We like our stop shots, don't we? Why is that? Because the position is positive, it's 100%. So it takes me a minute, but I see it. And because the stop shot on the 7 gets me on this 10 ball, and that's ideal. From the 10 ball, I'm going to be able to play position, probably short side on the 6. And then I can maneuver, these balls will be gone. Then I can maneuver my cue ball over here, perhaps shoot this ball next and get on the 1, or perhaps shoot the 9 ball, and then this ball, and then the 1, and then this one, and then boom, I'm on my key ball. Oh, actually, I'm not on my key ball. I've lost the market on that key ball because I just shot it off. But I'm going to have to use one of these balls in the center of the table as a pivot ball to come over for my break ball. No problem. So 7 ball, and I got a little angle on it, so I can't quite do a stop shot, but it's very, very easy now to hold for that window on this ball. And here's where I say, don't do this. That 6 ball is a blocker ball for these 2 balls, and I'm really reducing my chances of getting out of this rack by doing this. So this is 2 years ago. I wasn't as smart then as I am now. That's a joke. And look what this leads me to have to do. Now the 6 is still a blocker ball. I've got a bad angle on the 9. Well, how am I going to get on the 1? How am I going to get back on these balls? Don't do this. You need to have a better vision of the whole rack and identifying your trouble balls. Because, like I said, look at where the balls lie now. All I had to do was tap that stripe in and leave the cue ball here. I could have shot the 6, and I could have come 2 rails around this way. I could have gone forward this way. I could have if I got low on the 6, I could stun the cue ball up this way. All very easy, controllable shots. And once the 6 is gone, then both of these balls go there. So I have learned some things in 2 years. And now I've got to shoot a 3-rail shot, bringing the cue ball all the way around the table. You don't want to have to shoot shots like that in order to get out. And then this next shot, don't do this either. I almost would rather shoot this stripe in and then use the 1 ball as a break ball than do what I did right here. But I have no choice. And I'm shooting the 1 ball to come across the table and bump these balls. If you're bumping balls when there's only 5 balls left on the table or 6 balls, you're doing it wrong. That could have turned out really bad. I got fortunate that it's okay. I still have a ball, or I've repositioned a ball that's blocking my break shot again. So this is not how you do it. I still got out. And that's a good lesson, is even if things don't go well for any reason, whether you make a wrong shot choice or do something doesn't work out the way you wanted, stay positive, because even you can run the rack doing it wrong. You don't want to do it very often, but you need to have a positive attitude that says, yeah, I'm still going to run this rack. So I do like what I did here. I took a lot of time, looked at these balls, and figured out a pattern. And that is that by shooting that ball on the side, I've got that same window again on this trouble ball that's blocking my break shot. And now you could go forward and get on the 6, but I prefer doing what I did here. So I think this is a good decision. Just come up for the 9, and I hit it a little soft, Yeah, hit it a little soft. It would have been better if I come up much higher, because then you can come shoot the 9 and reposition the cue ball lower, like down here. And then you simply have a tap in on the 6 to come up here to get position on your break shot. So not quite optimal. It really helps to pick the position that you want on this 9 ball more precisely, so you don't end up with that angle, because 9 ball is here. Even if I have this angle, I can tap it in, go to the rail, and I have the correct angle. Now from here, I'll talk about this real quick. You got 2 choices, and it depends on the angle that you have on this 6 ball, and it depends on how big the pockets are. If these were tight pockets, I'm probably just going to let the cue ball go to the rail and come straight up table, because here's the shot line to my break shot. As long as I cross that shot line, I've got an angle, right? So even if the cue ball comes back at this angle, so long as I cross this shot line, get the cue ball up here, I have an angle on my break shot. Now, if you're playing on tighter pockets, you might choose that, because the alternative is, which I choose on this table because these are 5-inch pockets, just load it up with 2 tips of left English and then spin the cue ball this way. That way you're sure to have an angle, because on the second rail, your extreme left English, wherever you hit the rail, it's just going to open up. And so, here's the shot line. You're never going to cross that shot line. So that's the right decision on a table with 5-inch pockets. Let's skip ahead to the break shot, shall we? Now, I've got an inside angle on this break shot. So what I would do today, well, it's like I'm shooting high. You're going to carom off this ball, and I think you're going to come 2 rails. Yeah, I had right English on it. Okay, if I was shooting that break shot today, I would have used left, and you don't have to hit it as hard either. And then the cue ball is going to spin out 2 rails. You might end up with a break shot angle on this ball, or a re-break shot. But since I don't have that, that's a good shot. Just shoot this ball and come back to center table. I would have liked to come a little bit farther, but we're going to look at this re-break shot. I like using a high ball. I don't remember how I shoot this today, because the cue ball is going to hit the 1 and then it's going to hit the 7. So I think your chances of scratching are low. It looks like I'm shooting above center. Yeah, so the cue ball went forward and went to the bottom rail. I remember why I wanted to play this we'll stop at this point, but this is an example also of how finicky straight pool can be. What am I talking about? So I shot with a high ball, and very often the cue ball is going to go to the bottom rail and it might come up. It's going to contact a lot of balls, and you'll get a shot into one of the corner pockets. I'm very fortunate to have a shot on this 9. These are 5-inch pockets, and that 9 ball could easily have fallen in that pocket on that re-break shot. Look at what my next shot might have been if the 9 ball fell in. I don't have any good shots. I don't think the 1 ball goes up here past this stripe. I'm not sure if I can hit enough of this orange ball to go in the side. If I can, it's still a tough shot. I do have a shot to cut this ball in the corner, but that's no bargain. That's a tough shot. Just making the point, don't get down on yourself when you don't get a shot like this. Straight pool is a finicky game. I was fortunate that this 9 ball didn't fall. And that's the difference between having an easy rack and a tough rack. It's just the way the game is. And so stay positive. Remember, if you're going to play straight pool, play it straight. And see you next week on Rack of the Week. Thanks for watching.